Welcome to our yoga with a block and a blanket. This class will teach you how to use a block and a blanket in different restorative yoga postures. Our next restorative posture is a forward bend and a back bend. We'll begin by extending our legs straight out in front of you. Stay on the blanket, keeping your hips elevated. This will give you a deeper forward bend. So sit up tall, elongate your spine, take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, reach your arms back up, interlock your fingers and reach up. Now release your hands behind your back. Fingertips are facing towards your hips. Keep the elbows soft and lean into a small back bend. Lift your heart and relax your neck and head back. Now lift back up to a tall, seated position. Take a deep inhale. Starting from the beginning, interlock your fingers up. Stretch as tall as you can. And now as you exhale, bring your hands in front of your chest. Take a deep inhale. Exhale into a forward bend, just reaching towards the toes, not too far. This is a restorative posture. Continue to breathe here into the forward fold, feeling the stretch of your hamstrings and calves. Now sit back up tall, take a deep inhale, and now let's circle the arms back up and over the head, stretching the spinal column. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, release your hands behind your back. Let's open the chest, lean into the palm of the hand, keep your elbows soft. Now come into a small back bend. Now if your neck is okay, go ahead and drop the head back, but if this brings any stress or pain to the neck area, please keep your chin tucked into your chest. Now come up tall, take a deep breath in, circle your arms back up and over your head, interlocking your fingers. Take a breath in and release your hands in front of your chest. Draw the belly in as you lean forward. Take a deep inhale, sit tall. And now let's bring our hands back to our heart center. We'll come into our next posture, which is called bridge and half moon pose. Now these are going to be modified yoga postures, and we will use our block and our blanket. So the blanket is great if you have any problems with your knees. So grab the block, put it to the right side of your hip. Bring your hands to your hip bones. So let's use the blanket, unfold it a little bit, and take your knees on the blanket. Now sit up tall with your hands again on the hips, and let's extend that left foot out to the side. Really ground the feet, and inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale and release your hands even to your shoulders. Now coming into half moon pose. Adjust the block to that level that you like, and now reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Think about drawing the belly in, bringing the hip forward slightly, and reaching through those fingertips. Now remember, if your neck bothers you, you can always take your gaze to the floor. Now we can challenge this posture a little bit more by lifting the leg up. And you can always use your fingertips on the mat or the palm of your hand. Stay strong in this pose. Feel the work of the glute and the outer thigh. Now come back up. Sitting up tall, lifting your heart. And now we're going to come into gate pose. So release your hands back to your heart. Take a deep inhale, circle your arms up towards the sky. Now as you exhale, slowly release the left hand down to the side of the thigh. Palm is facing up. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, lean into that deep side bend. Again, now you can take your gaze up, or if this bothers your neck, just keep your neck in a neutral position. So remember to breathe and feel the opening of the side body. Our breath is very important here to help us deepen this stretch. So take another deep inhale, and as you exhale, draw the abs in and lift your torso back to the center. Release your hands back down to your hips. Take and draw the left knee back onto the blanket. Now we're going to move to the opposite side. Start by grabbing our block and putting it next to the left thigh. Remember, you have different levels you can try. So take that right leg out and ground the foot to the mat. Stay tall, circle your arms up, press the palms together, and as you exhale, release your hands even to your shoulders. Take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, bring your hand down to the block or to the floor. Reach up through the arm, opening the chest to the sky. Draw the belly in and bring the hip forward slightly. Keep reaching, and again, if you want to challenge this half moon posture, lift the leg up, feeling the work in the outer thigh and the gluteus maximus. Stay strong, keeping your abs engaged. And now let's release the foot back down to the mat and come to the center. Circle your arms up. We'll move into gate on this opposite side. So take a deep inhale and release your hand down to the outside of your thigh, and as you exhale, lean into that side bend, really opening up the left rib cage. And if you would like, take your gaze towards the sky. Relax into the stretch. Take that deep breath in. And as you exhale, come back up towards the center. Great job. Let's release our hands back to our hips and draw that knee back under our hip bones. So we'll come down, we'll move the block and the blanket away from our mat. We'll come into a restorative posture called child's pose, just to stretch out the sacrum and the spinal column. So reach your fingertips towards the edge of the mat. Relax your hips to your heels. And if you can, bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. This is a wonderful restorative posture. So close your eyes and take nice deep inhalations and long, slow exhalations. From child's pose, we're going to come into downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. So feel the work in the upper body. We're straightening out our arms, elbows soft, and head and neck relaxed. Push up through the hips, the sit bones, and feel the stretch of the hamstring and the calf. And try to distribute your weight between the hands and the back feet, and just keep that stretch and strength equal. Lengthening through the spine and stretching out the hips. Let's move into three-legged down dog by lifting the left leg straight up towards the sky. Now press the right heel down as you lengthen from the feet all the way up to your toe. Keep the abs engaged, supporting the lift of that leg. Relax your head and neck. And now let's release that foot back down to the mat. Readjust your weight across your hands and your feet. And now draw the abs in. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Keep pressing in through the palms of the hands and think of lengthening through the spine. Keep the breath even and steady. Stay strong here in our three-legged down dog. Take another full breath. And as you exhale, let's slowly release the leg back down to the mat. Now soften your knees, drop down to your mat, and let's come on to our sit bones. Cross your legs and lift up in front of your hips. Let's move the block away, and we're going to roll down. So hands underneath your hamstrings, and slowly release your head and chest down to the mat. Slide your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Our next posture is called bridge pose. And we're going to use our block to help stretch the spinal column. So place the block next to your hips. Walk your heels up towards the glutes and relax your shoulders down. So coming into bridge pose, we want to slide the shoulder blades away from our ears and reach our fingertips towards our heels. So take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, we want to draw the abs in, come into a pelvic tilt. Now lift your hips up slowly, feeling the work of your quads, keeping your abs strong. Take a nice deep inhale, and on your exhale, let's go ahead and slowly roll down, starting from the top of the neck, one vertebrae at a time. It's a good time to listen to your back and see if there's any tight or sticky areas in the spine. So let's try it again. Deep breath in neutral. Exhale to your pelvic tilt. Slowly lift your hips up. Now let's come on to the toes, the ball of the foot, and slide that block right underneath the sacrum. Relax your feet back down to the mat and slide your fingertips towards those heels. Try to really relax and breathe here with your hips on the block. It's a good time to check in and see how we're feeling. If the block feels uncomfortable, then please take the block away. Make sure it is not on the tailbone and that it is between the two hip bones. Also remember, with the block, you have 3 different levels. This right now is in the middle level. So now let's take the block away, lift your hips up, and now slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time and release your feet back down to the mat. We'll go ahead and put the block off to the side, and we'll come into our next restorative posture, giving yourself a nice hug. We can massage the lower back by taking your knees and rolling them around into a small circle, feeling the rotation of the hip joints, and now reversing that circle. Make it slow and smooth and keep your abdominals engaged. Now hug the knees back into the chest, and now let's rock side to side, hip to hip, massaging the lower back. Keep your shoulders down, your chin towards the chest, and rock gently side to side. Now let's bring our legs down into our relaxation posture. Relaxation is a perfect way to eliminate stress and create a sense of inner peace. You can always use your blanket if your lower back feels tight or stiff. So take that blanket, place it directly under the knees. Now when you're ready, bring one knee at a time into your chest and roll up into an easy cross-legged position. We're going to come into a hand gesture called Yoni Mudra. Bring your thumbs together and point your index finger towards the floor, interlocking the little finger, the ring finger, and the middle finger. Thank you so much for joining me today in our restorative posture with a blanket and block. Be proud of your work that you've done today. And join me again for another yoga stretch program.